Hey Canada, Josh McLaughlin, Weed Wiki Collective, and we are here with our first member-driven episode in our second week. So thank you for the person who reached out and asked us, what are the problems that the industry faces when they're trying to talk to their customers? He really didn't understand, gave us a donation, and asked to be part of this story. So we thank you. We've also had some industry reach out and 60 contacts. For those of you who got back to us, we are encouraged that we're definitely going in the right direction here. So, welcome, Canada, to our communications episode. I'll see you inside. And here is our issue. In my hands, two products. Bought at the same store. Budtenders very often faced with all of the questions. Is it good quality? Is it good value for my money? What is it? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? And for the really intrepid, is it strong and how careful should I be? Now, about the industry that actually makes that product, well, they're not allowed to communicate with you at all. Not in an ad, not in a video, not with a human face, not with a lifestyle, not even with a feeling. Here's another one for you, and this one will really actually get you. The rules still are being confusingly applied and delivered. Messages from our regulators aren't always clear, and this one really does frame it up the best. So, tours of grow facilities to see where your plant is grown. Health Canada has put out guidance saying only essential people are to be in facilities. What does that mean? We're still not sure, but what we really do know is that on a local winery, you can tour the vineyard, you can taste the wine, you can even have a meal with your family and take grandma for a nice Saturday outing. Our industry, however, we're faced with some regulation, but being the organic industry that it is, tours should be something, an education of the cannabis consumer, well, that should be something that a producer should be allowed to do, shouldn't it? So how'd we get there anyway? Well, 2018 proved to be an interesting year because it was the year we obviously put the Cannabis Act in place. The Cannabis Act was put together from rules, regulations, and laws working in other industries and adapted for our own. We are regulated like a cigarette, sold like alcohol, and the plant is neither, right down to the addiction matrix. Different rates, different grips, different exits. Not to say that addiction isn't a problem, because it still is a very large problem, and cannabis abuse is one of those areas that we are not going to shy away from. But the drunk versus the stone is a very, very different thing, meaning that there is different cognition and different self-awareness in different experiences. But we are here to say one thing absolutely clearly. Regulations were also put in place to prevent impaired driving. Impaired driving under the influence of cannabis is no different than alcohol. It is illegal, and we do not support it in any way, shape or form. And you should not operate a motor vehicle, heavy machinery, or anything dangerous while you are using cannabis. That is something that we will hold to, and we are never going to come off that point. It is a line that we hold dearly. Regulations like that, wow, they're so easy to get behind. They make a lot of sense. We're Canada's cannabis educators, and this is the Gag Order episode. Here's the one that confuses us. Here's what you can expect to hear on any given day from a local producer's marketing. What the budtenders on the floor will tell you is we have a lot of consumers that are doing one thing, and that is chasing numbers. And strength is something that is a real issue. So much so that we've devoted an entire episode called the consumption episode to that exact thing and many, many other things surrounding cannabis consumption. We're going to debunk a bunch of myths and have a bunch of fun out there, including that myth, the 25% ceiling. We'll get into that and more, like indica couch, all of those things and more in that episode. But it does raise one serious question. Where can you go to get all that information? Well, was supposed to be your local bud tender. And when they have enough time and enough space, they can definitely get that job done in 90% of the cases. But when your bud tender is 6 deep on a Saturday, does your bud tender really honestly notice that you might need a little more information or education? Or do you feel like you have the time to ask it? Better yet, does that bud tender have the training? Those are always questions that we ask, and it is all about quality information. And what we are here to do is provide quality information to the Canadian cannabis consumer. How do we do it? Through a little magic called Section 16. Yes, as journalists, we can keep our heads above water and be here for you, Canada, at any given time to hopefully give you the information that you need out there. And you thought that that was just a principle, that independence? Well, it's also structural and load-bearing, meaning that to legally exist, we need to be journalists. And yes, we're going to be here for the Canadian cannabis consumer. We're going to try and get more entertaining without getting canceled, and we'll see what happens in future episodes. But nonetheless, we're here for you, Canada. And yes, with our first actual member-driven episode, meaning one of our members that has joined up wrote the entire editorial for this episode. And yes, we thank you all. We are very, very grateful for everybody out there that has already joined up, inviting everybody to click like and subscribe, of course, and my writers will finally be happy with me there. We also have a great web portal at weedwiki.ca. If you'd like to join up for the free newsletter, you can. Then there's also a bunch of other ways to get involved with something we call Dark Wiki. So, until next week, Canada, this is Josh McLaughlin for the Weed Wiki Collective.